place before the first game and then we get on with things. This one, well, they want to show off the fact that there's plenty of entertainment on show as well, as we await the teams, the hosts FC Bayern Munich and AC Milan. 8 changes made by... the line. So you'll see some new faces. We spoke about, speaking a little bit more about AC Milan in our first segment. New signings: Carlos Bacca, Luis Adriano from Shakhtar, Jose Mauri from Parma, and Andrea Bertolacci from Roma. A lot of players have gone, the likes of Robinho, Essien, Montari, Bonera, Rami, Pazzini, and Birsa plus Destro, he's gone as well. It's a lot of changes, but it needed to be as well. And Sinisa Mihailovic, their coach, has to improve upon a 10th place finish in Serie A last season.
No, that's right. Adriano and Bacca very, very strong up front, looking for goals from him. But the interesting player for me is Bertolacci from Roma. He had a very, very good season. My sources in Rome say he had a very good season at Genoa. He was partially owned by both teams, and Roma really couldn't turn down the excellent fee that they presented to them, and that's why he's moved on.
Nigel de Jong and Philippe Lahm captaining their respective sides. Today these sides also met in the Audi Cup in the semi-final stage in 2011. Bayern winning on penalties, and in 2009 Bayern winning by 4-1. So they meet again. Lovely evening in Munich, 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Gorgeous sky in Bavaria. What can we expect from Arturo Vidal this season? Big money move.
I think it's more of the same, Mark. He's such an impressive player. He's a box-to-box player. He was, I should say, for Juventus. We saw what he did. He carried on to the international arena in the Copa America. He was fantastic in that tournament. I think he's an excellent signing. He's got some bite in that midfield for Bayern Munich and a lot of quality.
There will be a moment of silence before the game for the son of Franz Beckenbauer.
Stefan war sein ganzes Leben mit dem FC Bayern eng verbunden, sowohl als Spieler in der Jugend als auch später als Jugendtrainer. Der FC Bayern trauert um einen lieben Freund und Kollegen. Wir sind in Gedanken bei seiner Familie.
So a pause for contemplation following the passing of Stefan Beckenbauer, the son of Bayern legend Franz Beckenbauer. Second game of the day in the Audi Cup is underway. The whistle of referee Peter Sippel. It's Bayern Munich all in red against the all-whites of AC Milan for a place in tomorrow's final against Real Madrid. Bayern going with new signing Sven Ulreich in goal. They got him from Stuttgart in the summer. Manuel Neuer is on the bench. Bernat, Boateng, Rafinha and Lahm. Kimmich, Vidal and Röde. Costa, Götze and Højbjerg. No Arjen Robben in the starting lineup. Strong bench. Douglas Costa, who played well against Wolfsburg the weekend in the German Super Cup. And Mario Götze. Arturo Vidal. So often last season in the Bundesliga, Paul Mariner, Bayern starting the games, especially at home, so quickly.
Well, we've been talking about this as a pre-season friendly, the Audi Cup. And this has started off very, very quickly indeed. Bayern, as you say, right in the front foot, and there's a bit of a letter of intent there from Vidal to all the Milan players.
Carlos Bacca, who could be an excellent signing after they spent 30 million euros to get him from Sevilla. This is Juan Bernat. Good season last year with Bayern, after joining from Valencia. Rafinha. Boateng has been linked to the move to MLS. Interesting to see if that one comes off the next 12 months or so. Douglas Costa using his strength. Gives it away cheaply while looking for Vidal. Speaking of giving it away, Carlos Bacca. Straight to Philippe Lahm. What's the attempt? Diego Lopez with the save to deny Mario Götze.
Well, it's a very bright start. Good ball movement from Bayern Munich. Crisp passing. The field doesn't look the best, I must admit. Not surprised about that. It doesn't seem to be affecting the speed of play.
A little bit heavy, grass a little bit longer than it would normally be. At times in the first game, the ball was just getting caught up a little. AC Milan will not be playing in European competition in the Champions League, where he last played in February 2014. And maybe, Paul, it just gives them an opportunity to get their house in order.
Yeah, most certainly. Some of the challenges that are going in here are players going to ground early. You've got to be sure if you're going to go to ground, you've got to win the ball. There was that little half chance there that Götze created for himself. Very, very simple save there for Lopez. But this is a totally different feel to this game than the first game. A lot of bite in it.
First half especially, the first game was little more than a glorified training ground exercise. Bayern have reached the final in each of the 3 previous versions of the Audi Cup. Away by Arturo Vidal. Strong challenge by Rafinha. Peter Sippo, referee, didn't like that one. Now he's no soft touch.
No, I'm very interested to see the front 3 back at Adriano with Honda. The Japanese international player underneath, playing in the genuine 10 role. He's very creative.
Sinisa Mihajlovic taking over in the summer from Filippo Inzaghi. Just never know what kind of reaction a former Inter player is likely to get. Bitter rivals AC Milan, but if he can improve on last season, get them higher up the table and get them challenging again for honours, will take them to their hearts.
There's number 32 there in red. Kimmich right in front of that back four, just in the holding role, just protecting, giving Vidal a little bit more license to go forward.
A new name for some Joshua Kimmich, but they spent $10 million to get him from Stuttgart, but he hadn't even made an appearance there. Got high hopes.
I like the way he's orchestrating that back four, telling them what to do.
Højbjerg, Bayern's youngest ever debutant, does not earn a free kick. It's good strength from Nigel de Jong, and then a cheap pass. Loses possession. Götze. Tonelli, the left fullback, is the closest to him. He gets the clearance away and takes the soul.
I think we can stop using the word friendly in this game. It was a very, very interesting challenge. Just a coming together of bodies. There's nothing in it, no malice.
Well, if you're Joshua Kimmich and you've spent a fair bit of cash to get him from Stuttgart, he's probably not going to be a first choice when Bayern begin their league season at home to Hamburg a week on Friday. So this is the perfect opportunity for him to impress Pep Guardiola.
And he's doing it. Look, we're only 5 minutes into this game, but you can see he's a leader on the field. He's telling the likes of Rafinha and Boateng and what to do, pointing fingers, telling them where to play it, where to pass it.
If there's a challenge and he's not involved in it when he's playing, it's rather unusual. Nigel de Jong. Bonaventura. Back by Antonelli for Diego Lopez. Signing from Real Madrid last summer. Ambitious for De Cilio. Bayern Munich's bench today does include Julian Green. He decided to stay and fight for his place, playing for the reserves this season. The best climb at Hamburg on loan last year. Rode forward for Vidal. Nice to Philipp Lahm. Run made by Højbjerg in the middle. Mopped up by De Cilio. Still danger. And surely a foul. He didn't win the ball. What about the reverse ball that sent the play wide to the right-hand side initially?
Yeah, it looked nice for a player of Vidal's quality. That was a simple ball. Nice ball in there from Lahm, looking for Götze there.
Keisuke Honda's at it a little bit. Yes, he won the ball after he'd cemented the opponent.
Well, those Kimmich, there it is again. He's playing in the holding role, but he's not afraid to push on, put some pressure on in the right areas. That's excellent play by him.
Zapata here, just going up. Is it the way he comes down? Clipped his own back of his own leg. Take your pick here. Arturo Vidal. You've got Douglas Costa, That's the right or the left foot taken care of.
Well, for me, this is, you can take your pick. It's a very, very nice distance. Vidal's more than capable. Costa also is more than capable.
Who will it be? Douglas Costa. What a good angle that was, not far away. If that was any lower, there's no way Diego Lopez would have got to it.
I heard Lopez say wide. Fantastic judgment. He just was absolutely rooted to the spot. This is incredible technique. What was it, about 12 inches away from being in the back of the net?
Let me get this straight. A Spanish goalkeeper playing for an Italian side would be speaking in English. Douglas Costa.
He's enjoying himself, the youngster. He's loving life.
The kids in attendance here as well. Ticket prices were pegged. And we do have a full house for today and for tomorrow. The final and third place match. We're with you again on ESPN2. We'll do it all again in 24 hours time.
I'll say Guardiola set the side up to be a very attacking side. Roda pushing in, Højbjerg pushing on, Vidal supplementing the attacks with Costa and Götze, so maybe the criticism from the board has hurt Pep a little bit.
Taking no chances, Diego Lopez. Saved the penalty from Toni Kroos. And they drew with Real Madrid on Thursday. Losing out on penalties though. AC Milan had a good win over Inter last month. Philip Mexis, not sure if you saw the goal, it was phenomenal. A little late challenge there. It's our favourite culprit again. And that's a nasty one on Joshua Kimmich by Nigel de Jong. Nicknamed the Destroyer. You'll never guess why. 10 minutes gone, 0-0. Early thoughts from the former England international striker Paul Manor.
I've been very, very impressed with the way that Bayern Munich came out to the blocks. We were criticising the teams for being a little slow at the tunnel, but Bayern Munich have been very, very fast. As soon as the whistle blew, it's been all Bayern Munich. I haven't seen a great deal from Milan yet.
The apology from Nigel de Jong to Peter Sippel. Of course he means it. The tennis player, when they hit the net and win the point, they always apologise, they never mean it. Away by Zapata. Looks like he's okay again after receiving a little bit of treatment. It was Kimmich. We wasn't sure if Boateng was aware that Carlos Bacca was behind him. What about Bacca's goal-scoring record for Sevilla? 49 in 108. And he did so well in Europa League finals as well. He could be a right good signing for AC Milan.
Well, 30 million euros. It's 28 years of age. If he's going to do it, he's got to do it now.
Nice flick from Douglas Costa. This is Götze. Kimmich for Lam. There's plenty in the middle. Maybe a ball that needed to be playing first time by Philipp Lahm to exploit the lack of numbers at the back for Milan.
I must say, Mark, Kimmich for 10 million he looks he's only 20 years of age. Look at him, he's on the ball, he wants the ball all the time. I mean, I haven't seen a great deal of him, I've only seen this game, but he looks an impressive character. Here he is once again, coming to the ball.
He's been playing at a lot lower level. He was on loan at RB Leipzig. He's never played the Stuttgart first team yet. They sold him for 10 million. The switch from Boateng was ambitious. Here he is again, Kimmich. Trying to be a little bit too clever there. Down goes Honda, and does well. Luis Adriano. Thread the eye of a needle there. Nice tempo about this game. Much quicker, much better than the opening game earlier between Real Madrid and Spurs. Philipp Lahm again, getting forward wherever possible. Douglas Costa's at the back post unmarked. Vidal. Good, so just coming short there. Roda. Onside, and then the acrobatic effort. And your calm friend, Diego Lopez, knew exactly what was going on.
Very nice build-up there. First phase, second phase. Excellent composure from Vidal on the ball. That's what he brings to the side. Very elusive. He's picking up different positions, breaking the lines.
Depending on who's playing, whether it's 1860 Munich or FC Bayern, the stadium outside, the colours will change. There was an announcement just before this game that Audi and Bayern Munich have extended their partnership until 2025. It's been a successful competition, this biannual tournament. And the next one is scheduled for 2017. And you don't overdo it as well. It's every 2 years. Rudislav, good. Good feet. Lam again in space, away from Antonelli. Good ball, Ruda. Instead of DeCilio, everybody appealing.
Well, what I liked about this, if you look at the ball that's laid out to Philippe Lam, he's got his head up all the time. He's looking for the runners into the box. He's trying to pick out Roda. Just gets across the face there. Would have been a difficult finish. Zapata, they're coming right in on him.
Yeah, good touch by the Colombian, Christian Zapata. This left foot is a bit of a wand from Douglas Costa. But you know when you praise someone in commentary that they never deliver straight afterwards. Played right wing back against Wolfsburg in the Super Cup on Saturday, Philippe Lam. It was Benatia, Boateng and Alaba at the back. It's kind of right mid. It was four in the middle. Douglas Costa on the left. A layup by Luis Adriano for Carlos Bacca, and how calm was that by Rafinha.
His Bayern side, a little bit lopsided, always seemingly going down the right-hand side, and why wouldn't they with Philippe Lam? One of the best players in that position in the world.
Yeah, Pep experimented him as a defensive midfielder or just a holding role last season in the midfield three, and it's not his best position. He can play any position pretty well, Philippe Lam. You're right, on the right-hand side, getting forward, that's where he wants to be.
You talk about the experience in this Bayern Munich side. Also, let's bear in mind that Højbjerg, number 34 on this left-hand side of midfield, is 19 years of age.
Remember when he made his debut against Nuremberg 2.5 years ago? He was the youngest ever debutant for FC Bayern. Played right midfield that day. Didn't look out of place. Neither does this lad, Joshua Kimmich. He's only 20.
Finding it difficult to get hold of the ball, Milan. So there's Vidal closing the goalkeeper down. You just see the license within this system that he's got to roam.
Christian Diaz, the assistant on the far side, keeping his flag down. Ambitious, right to the foot of Douglas Costa. Well, Franck Ribéry is one of a few injuries for Bayern. Dante, Javi Martinez, Badstuber and Kirchhoff. And of course they want Franck Ribéry fit, but I think Douglas Costa at the age of 24 is someone that could play a lot of time and a lot of years for Bayern.
Well, and the key to add to that Mark, is quality. You can see he's got a beautiful left foot. He's very, very unfortunate early on with the free kick that just went narrowly wide. And he likes to take up those wide positions, but when the ball's on the right-hand side, especially with Lam attacking down that right-hand side, he comes in and supplements as an extra forward.
A couple of players who you may have thought would be involved today for Bayern getting a rest. Arjen Robben and Thiago Alcantara. Remember, another game 24 hours from now. Will it be the final against Real Madrid, or will it be for third place against Tottenham Hotspur? Real Madrid beating Spurs by 2-0. If you're just joining us on ESPN2, we'll have the highlights from that one at half-time. De Jong's not committed a foul for about 10 minutes. He's given possession away there, and Bayern in a hurry to take it.
Well, I think Mihailovic, the coach of Milan, will be a little bit concerned about his players. Can't seem to get a grip on any type of possession. Very well closed down. Let's add that from the Bayern Munich players.
Yeah, second corner. It's harrying and hassling. Got a glimpse of Arjen Robben on the bench, sitting alongside Thomas Müller.
Not a bad bench.
Yeah. Philipp Lahm. In by Jerome Boateng, and offside flag up on the far side. Advantage played by Peter Sippel, acknowledging Christian Diaz, his assistant. Sometimes when I'm covering Bundesliga games, Paul, and they show a shot of the bench featuring the 7 Bayern players, you just wonder if that 7 would hold their own, and they probably would against a lot of teams in European competition. I'm not talking about the top leagues, of course, but those 7 are normally really strong.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're going to go far in your domestic and international tournaments, obviously the Champions League is for Bayern Munich, you've got to have that type of squad.
Luis Adriano claiming for handball when he was less than half a metre away from Jerome Boateng.
And then when you see Guardiola's giving the youngsters, Højbjerg and Kimmich, a chance here, 19 and 20 years of age, it's all good experience for them. I'm not saying they're going to be featuring in the Champions League, but it's possible because they've played very, very well up to now. Well,
they're practically veterans compared to Fabian Benko, who's a 17-year-old midfielder on the bench. He came on at half-time against Inter in Shanghai. Play by Honda. Little nibble at his ankle. Beautiful night for a game of football.
20 minutes in, I think Pep Guardiola will want a goal from this possession that his side's had. They've been dominant in this first 20. He'll be looking for a goal from them as a reward.
To wait until the 36th minute of the first game for Isco to deliver for James Rodriguez. Gareth Bale adding a second 11 minutes from time. 20 minutes gone here. It's 0-0 between FC Bayern Munich and AC Milan in the Audi.
Bonaventura though with the first real bit of possession, that he was able just to keep the ball for a few seconds.
Now, he did take a knock a little bit earlier. If you remember, it was the little challenge from Nigel de Jong on Joshua Kimmich. We thought he was okay, but they're taking no chances. David Alaba. It was this tackle here. He just caught him on the side of the right knee.
Yeah, it must have just shook him up a little bit. There's no point taking chances at this stage of the season. Get him off. Got to be the physio evaluating.
You played the game for a number of years. Could a little knock like that on the side of the right knee cause a dead leg 10-15 minutes later?
You know what, Mark? The little tiny knocks that are innocuous, just like that sometimes they're the worst.
It's one of those that you kind of think, I've got to play on. This is my chance to impress the boss. But sometimes you've got to realise, like, let's just be sensible. If it's hurting too much, you don't want to do any long-term damage.
Well, I think when you factor in when that challenge took place, which was within the first 5 minutes of the game, and to soldier on for another 15 plus, then I think he's already impressed the boss. I thought he was terrific.
One to watch for the season ahead, how much he's involved, Joshua Kimmich. Lay off by Honda. Now. Played by Rodrigo Eli against Mario Götze, the young Brazilian. He's been on loan at Avellino. Centre back. He's got a bit of pace. A new deal last month as well to stay at Milan another 4 years. Comes off him for Bayern's throw. Højbjerg, initial piece of skill, then give it away. Since he made his debut for Bayern, he's gone on to win 7 caps for his country. scouting network that is global for Bayern Munich, who even have offices in New York. It's Beckenbauer helped open with others. Juan Bernat. And the own goal of Christian Zapata. They may give it to Bernat, they may give it to Zapata, but what's not in doubt is that Bayern lead AC Milan by a goal to nil after 23 minutes.
Well, very, very crisp, sharp build-up. And Bernat got in the inside left channel in the box. Here it is, he takes it on. Defender backs off him, invites him to shoot. He does so. Zapata with the deflection. I think there's no doubt that it was going goalward. Definitely give it to the fullback. Obviously, Lopez had no chance whatsoever with that. Wicked deflection. Cilio, they're backing off. You can't do that. You've got to engage at some point.
The stadium announcer giving it to Juan Bernat. So that's good enough for us. And our young friend delighted at Bayern's opening goal. Juan Bernat last season just got one goal for Bayern in the league. To be fair, Zapata doesn't really want it, does he?
No, most certainly not.
A little bit wild. Very wild.
We were talking earlier about Philip Lahm playing in that holding role in central midfield. That's where he's gone now with the injury to Kimmich.
Bonaventura wouldn't want to see that attempt at goal very often again.
Alaba obviously gone to the right back slot.
Left back.
I've got my shoes on the wrong feet today.
Douglas Costa over on the right hand side now. Zapata in there first, tuning it for Bayern's third corner.
Well, if Milan want to find out what the defensive shape is like, they're getting enough practice. This first 25 minutes into the game, they've been under tremendous pressure.
View from behind the other goal, and then the spider cam from above. Bad deliver. Our match director clearly has some new toys that he wants to play with. Fourth corner for Bayern, who lead by that Juan Bernat goal to nil. Third place match and the final tomorrow for you on ESPN. Pata there first. Pinball in there from the effort by Juan Bernat. These two first played in this tournament back in 2009. It's a very comfortable win for Bayern by 4 goals to 1. Thomas Müller got a couple that day. Bastian Schweinsteiger also scored, and it's a bit weird, isn't it, that Bayern are now playing when Schweinsteiger doesn't play for them anymore. Juan Bernat has officially been credited with that goal. Boateng for Götze. Away by Antonelli. It's not really sticking for Milan, is it? Ball retention isn't good enough against a team who don't give it away much.
That's very true. On the flip side, Bayern are closing them down, not giving them time and space on the ball. But I must admit, I'm a little disappointed with Milan. You're right, Mark, it's not sticking at all. Got to try and retain possession. Honda's got to get more involved in the game.
Good feet by Douglas Costa from Mario Götze. Højbjerg. I wonder if the thought was in his mind to take it first time. He might get another chance though. Götze. They're playing some nice stuff just now, Bayern. Douglas Costa inviting, and well, it should have been 2, but it's not. Højbjerg and Juan Bernat, but neither could find a finish. What about the ball in?
Absolutely spectacular. Roda just getting out of the way. Vidal, it eludes him. Højbjerg just trying to chest it into the back of the net. But what a vicious ball in that was. Spectacular ball.
He's actually done pretty well, Højbjerg, to get anything on that, because as you saw from that good angle, he wasn't getting his head to it because it came across too quick, and he's unlucky.
I disagree with you. I think that's a young player who's not reading the game like he should do. You've always got to expect that ball coming in. You always got to go through with the motion.
It's a tough school that you run, Mariner.
Well, we're talking about Bayern Munich and AC Milan here. We're not talking about proper teams.
Here he is again, Højbjerg. Lam.
You can see AC Milan have got everybody behind the ball, so they're trying to protect the goal. But the ball movement and the options of Bayern Munich on the ball are pretty special.
Run made by Bernat in the centre, not picked out, knocked up by Bonaventura. Played Alaba. Bernat for Højbjerg. Challenged by Zapata. They're now so strong on either side, because with Alaba and Bernat, either can play it left back and either in front. And Lam on the right-hand side as well. How do you stop them? Down goes Bernat. Illegally is the answer.
Well, when you're talking about the highest grade teams, they can rotate out of position. Players can slot in. They recognise when someone is positionally out of position, and they can just slot in and cover for them.
I was just thinking about Douglas Costa and that ball in as well. Playing on the right-hand side, he's just as dangerous. This is Alaba. Austrian Player of the Year, David Alaba, in the last 5 seasons. Douglas Costa. The fans here will love him. Götze. That's good body strength. Now Sebastian Rode. Signed on a free in the summer last year from Eintracht Frankfurt.
Look, we expected Bayern Munich to be a little bit further on in the preparation, but I think it's noticeable that the technical ability and the willingness to hold the ball from the Bayern Munich players is marked in comparison to Milan. Milan are really struggling.
Half an hour gone, 1-0 Bayern. Quickly taken free kick by Douglas Costa. Leads to Bayern's 5th corner. He's not seen much of the ball, Luis Adriano. Another lovely ball in. Bacca is back helping out.
Well, as an attacking player, as a forward player, when Costa gets that ball and he's anywhere close to being on that left peg, you've got to make your runs in the box because you know it's coming in.
Short corner. Just over half an hour gone in the Audi Cup 2015. And the attempt from distance is not too far away. Bayern Munich leading AC Milan by 1-0. I've seen him hit them from distance before, David Alaba. It's normally pretty accurate. Wasn't too far away that time as well. A couple of goals from last season. Did have 1 or 2 injury problems. It's well played by Keisuke Honda. Oh, and a dangerous ball though. Douglas Costa with a bit of pace. At the second attempt, fires over.
Well, to be honest, we talk about recognition. Tremendous recognition there of the loose pass. He's on his right foot, inside right channel. It bounces back to him. Götze and Vidal are not particularly happy with him. I think he did the right thing. Excellent driving run into the box. Gets his head up, right peg. Tries to go across the keeper. Just fails to do so. It bounces back to him. He only had eyes on the goal. He wanted to score. Just failed to do so.
but both attempts there on a weaker right foot that's still as strong as most people's strong foot.
It was the pace in which he got away on the dribble as well, Mark. I mean, Rodrigo just couldn't stay with him.
What about some Major League Soccer for you on ESPN? We have plenty action coming up at the weekend. LA Galaxy against Seattle Sounders, third against sixth in the Western Conference. We'll have that one for you next Sunday, 4 p.m. on ESPN. And remember, if you're out and about as well, take us with you via the Watch ESPN app. You can watch the final tomorrow or the third place match on your Watch ESPN app as well, or on ESPN2. As it stands, it's going to be Bayern Munich against Real Madrid. Not a bad matchup.
Rafa Benitez, in his quotes prior to the game, was saying that all competitions, all cups are very important to him and Real Madrid. So we're probably in for a nice little game tomorrow if this stays the way that it is. And on this evidence, it looks as though Bayern Munich will go through. We're talking about what a great player Lam is, Mark. He's just sat in that holding role now. Looks as though he's played there for his whole life.
Højbjerg, just trying to get a little bit of space. Rode. Bernat's offside. Just while we were talking about Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, if you were to put a top tier of teams in European football, would you have Bayern, Real Madrid and Barcelona as your undoubted top tier? Would there be anybody else that would join those three at the top table?
Not for me, no. That's it. If you look at the type of football that Barcelona were playing at the end of the season, I mean, the final was a close one. Juve took them really close to the end, but really wasn't that close. The front three is just ridiculous. I mean, by far and away the best front three in the world football.
Plenty to ponder for the Serb, Sinisa Mihajlovic, new coach at AC Milan. One positive for him, he won't have to face teams of the caliber of Bayern Munich every week. Juventus have been the top dogs in Italy. They are the standard bearers.
I think Mihajlovic will take a lot from this game.
This is Rode. Højbjerg. Bernat, they're queuing up here. Bonaventura trying to stick to him. Goodson. By Rafinha. Vidal was onside as well. It's all too easy for Bayern Munich right now.
Well, there's no pressure on the ball, and as we said earlier, it was Kimmich that was giving Vidal license to go forward. Now it's Lam giving him license, and he will do. And that's what you're going to get from Vidal. He puts his foot in, he's got an eye for a pass, and he can score goals. Getting in the box there, showing more appetite there than the defenders to get on the end of that.
7 goals last season for Arturo Vidal from midfield for Juventus. Do you think he'll score more than that for Bayern in his first season with them? Yeah?
Yes.
Double figures in the Bundesliga?
I don't see why not.
Thomas Müller warming up behind Sven Ulreich's goal. With 3 Bayern players over there by Honda. Comfortable header away by Jerome Boateng. Been a comfortable first half, hasn't it, Paul Mariner, for Bayern Munich?
It has, and as I was saying, Mihajlovic, the head coach of AC Milan, will look at this and he'll view it. He'll look at his shape. He'll look at his wide guys. You look at Bonaventura and Botolacci. They haven't really done anything. What they've got to do, they've got to do more when they're out of possession, which they've been out of possession for most of this game. They've got to track back quicker. They've got to close down quicker.
You combine again with Højbjerg. A rare misplaced pass. caught by Sinisa Mihailovic.
And they've got a couple of weeks before they start the season, so he's fairly happy with what he's seeing, but he's got to factor in the play against Bayern Munich at home. And Bayern Munich are going to be starting next week.
Yeah, I wonder what team they'll put out on Sunday in the first round of the German Cup against Nottingham. Every top flight team starts their campaign away from home against the lower league sides. It's a nice idea, that. A team that's the lower of the two in the German Cup draw at the beginning is always at home. This is Nigel de Jong. The ball for De Silio. Good defending by Bernat.
There's that first touch from Costa, absolutely fantastic. Whether he's on the right or whether he's on the left. It's obvious. There's the driving room when he's in on his right foot. Decent save by Lopez. Pots up back to him. Just couldn't put it in the back of the net. But as you said, Mark, he can play on the left, he can play on the right. As a defender, you've just got to try and keep him on his right foot. And his right foot's not too shabby.
Bertolacci gets the foul. They had high hopes for him at Roma, didn't they? But
yes, they did. They thought he was going to be the heir apparent to Pjanic. Didn't pan out.
Still got 20 million euros
yeah,
for him.
Exactly. It was a deal that they really couldn't turn down. Part ownership with Genoa.
Hasn't seen too much of the ball, Sven Ulreich. $5 million summer signing from Stuttgart.
Yeah, that's a problem. Bonaventura hasn't seen De Silio, Antonelli. They really haven't seen much of the ball. The wide guys and full-backs haven't really been in advanced areas.
Honda and Bonaventura over this one. As the Japanese fancy it. To the backside of Pierre Højbjerg. Real Madrid awaiting the winners in tomorrow's final. They beat Spurs 2-0 earlier today. James Rodriguez and Gareth Bale. If you were with us on ESPN, you would have seen that one. No Benzema or Ronaldo in their squad for the Audi Cup. Great work by Bernat to dispossess Zapata. Højbjerg with support from Götze. Needed a better ball from the young Dane.
Well, there was a microcosm of this game. Bayern Munich closing the ball down. Zapata overplaying. Should have a little bit more brains about his game than that. He knows he's going to get closed down. Just didn't come to anything. Højbjerg just under hitting the pass.
There's talent everywhere you look in this Bayern lineup. And this team shows 8 changes from the weekend when they were beaten on penalties by Wolfsburg after conceding late on an equaliser to Nicholas Benton. He also scored the winning penalty. This is Arturo Vidal.
That's to my point though, Mark, about the passing options. Nobody's stepping up to close down.
I always think that's a tough one for the defender, because what else can he do? I mean, it's one of those that'll be an obstruction. It should be an indirect free kick. Is there anything he can do there?
Not a lot, but you're not allowed to step into him as well.
No, I know. I mean, it's a free kick all day long. You never see an indirect free kick inside the penalty area these days.
Those were the days.
Yeah. Pass back rule. 6-second rule we have now, which seems to be...
That's never adhered to.
No. Arturo Vidal over this one. To the last 5 minutes of the first half. Needed the head of Carlos Bacca. Both of these two strikers, Bacca and Adriano, kind of played as a lone striker for the respective sides. Luis Adriano was up top with 3 in behind him. Bacca for Sevilla as well, so interesting to see how they cope as a pairing. Needs time, I'm sure it'll work though. 7th corner for Bayern, and Vidal's header doesn't trouble Diego Lopez.
Well, there's the commitment again from Vidal. Absolute warrior in that box. Not the biggest guy, Well, he's so determined. He wants to score goals. He wants to get on the end of that corner kick. Look at his eyes. He only has eyes for the ball. Going in bravely.
Bonaventura and De Jong couldn't get there ahead of him. Not a bad summer for Arturo Vidal, huh? Chile winning the Copa America.
Well, I use the word warrior. He on the football field, he's a warrior. He puts his foot in, as we've said, and he gets in the box. He's an excellent passer of the ball. He gets up and down. He's certainly going to improve this side.
I wonder if Pep Guardiola has his starting lineup in his head, in his mind.
Yes,
the game against, you think so? The game against Hamburg?
Absolutely.
Okay.
To your point, Mark, about Bacca and Adriano, maybe this is just an experiment to see if they can play up front together. Certainly he's giving up that man in midfield, and against Bayern Munich, it's really hurting them today.
Well, it's the formation they also played against Real Madrid in Shanghai, with the three in midfield, the one in front, and then the two strikers. On that occasion, it was Cherchi and Niang, with Suso playing in behind.
But when that happens, when they're out of possession, at least one of them's got to drop off to supplement the middle of the park. Otherwise, they'll get carved open.
Most of the games that I remember Bayern playing at home in the Bundesliga last season, their opponents, none of them went three up top. Two or three went with two up top, but you require willing workers. Your first line of defence starts with your strikers.
And in the modern game, if you haven't got that, you're going nowhere very fast.
Offside against Luis Adriano. Christian Leicher on this near side, the assistant, with the flag up.
Well, just a little anxious, trying to get in the back, working the shoulder as the ball's played in. He's not hit it yet. There it is.
I mean, he's a really good player, Luis Adriano. He scored 9 goals in the group stage. He played 5 games in the Champions League group stage last year.
I mean, the thing is, like you say about Bacca, he can score goals. He's got to be given the opportunity, though. They've created nothing.
They need more of the ball in an advanced state at AC Milan, otherwise Bayern will continue to carve them open. Juan Bernat's deflected opening goal after 23 minutes. The difference between the two sides. Zapata deflecting it beyond Diego Lopez. We'll analyse things when we come back. It's Bayern leading AC Milan by 0-0 on ESPN.
Sehr interessant auch in diesem Spiel zu verfolgen, was der Audi
not limit the amount of subs available, but to limit the amount of occasions when subs could be made. It just helped with the flow of things. Mehdi Benatia on for Jerome Boateng. Just when AC Milan are thinking, okay, Bayern might take off some of their stars, Paul Mariner, they go and bring on more of their stars.
Well, we spoke earlier during the first half about the strength of the bench that Pep Guardiola's disposal. And we're going to see certainly one of my favourite players, Thomas Müller. He's a wonderful player, technical, works his socks off, scores goals. Much sought after player in Europe.
Second half underway with Bayern looking to double their advantage against AC Milan and put this one to bed nice and early. We have reached the final of this competition every time it's been staged, and this is the fourth time the Audi Cup has been played. Biannual tournament. If you're just joining us on ESPN2, you're very welcome. Mark Donaldson alongside Paul Mariner. The one goal that Bayern scored in the first half was from Juan Bernat, a deflection of Christian Zapata in 23 minutes. Nice bit of skill from the new boy. And at half-time, Thomas Müller for Mario Götze. The deflection of Antonelli was vital for AC Milan. Honda. Taken late by Højbjerg, advantage played well by Peter Sippel, referee. Bacca. Bertolacci. Support from Antonelli. Strange atmosphere in the Allianz Arena. It's like a summer fair. Not quite this atmosphere when the Bundesliga kicks off on Friday the 14th of August. Bayern at home on a Friday night against Hamburg. Lewandowski on for Douglas Costa. What a first half he had. Impressed in the games he's played so far for Bayern. The Bayern fans, Paul Mariner, are going to have fun with him this season.
They most certainly are. They saw a rich vein of talent there. Played on the left-hand side, the right-hand side. Got into the box. Put some wonderful balls into the box.
Rode did a nice bit of build-up. Lewandowski wants. Lewandowski gets, but the flag up on this near side.
Well, I know this is a pre-season, but that was a true fast break. If you look at the ease of the movement of Lewandowski, they're going through the middle. Thomas Müller just inside Rode.
I want to give our viewers the opportunity to kind of learn from someone that played at a World Cup. Paul Mariner is a top striker back in the day. What kind of run? Just break off and see if AC Milan can come. I want to revisit that one and give some tips there. As the shot from right-hand side from Carlos Bacca just goes wide. In the counter-attack, AC Milan so nearly back in it in a flash.
Well, we spoke about Bacca earlier in the first half, about he needs the service. He's got a little bit of service here on his left peg. He tries to use the outside of his right foot just to bend it into the right-hand post of the goalkeepers. Just failed to do so, but that's the best bit of play that we've seen from AC Milan.
So when you've got a player wide right, your player about to put a ball in, what type of run should you be making as a striker?
Well, it's all about timing, Mark. You've just got to be, as Lewandowski made the run. His run was perfect, but it was just the timing. The timing was just off slightly because he was caught offside. It was a marginal decision. That's what you're dealing with in the attacking third. It's all marginal stuff.
The benefit Lewandowski had there, he was able to get in front of his marker, but just too much, and the offside flag going up a couple of minutes ago. This is Thomas Müller for Götze. Nice cut back for Bernat, who is really relishing and flourishing in that more central role.
We were talking earlier, Mark, about this is no longer a friendly semi-final or Audi Cup. We saw a little bit of something going on with Pep Guardiola in the tunnel at half-time. Nigel de Jong getting involved in it. Bernat getting involved in it. It was a little bit spicy.
There was one or two things that there was that little bit of spice because of. There was the challenge that de Jong made, and there was also a bit of showboating from Bernat that de Jong didn't appear too happy about as well. Tonelli with the partial clearance there. Forward by De Cilio. Rafinha. Lewandowski. It's a good play defensive-wise by Christian Zapata.
It was a nice ball in. Excellent hold-up play by Lewandowski. They're using his strength. Not particularly known for his strength, but he's holding on Zapata there, just rolled in. Got a right-footed shot. Off.
No changes as yet for AC Milan. Bayern have made 4, 3 at half-time, and David Alaba for Joshua Kimmich after 21 minutes after an early challenge by Nigel de Jong that Kimmich was unable to run off. Sure, it was meant for Milan. I think it was intended for Götze. David Alaba.
Muller just played in behind Lewandowski there, probably in that Vidal role.
Again, poor ball retention from AC Milan. Look at the charge going forward here. Charge of the Red Brigade. All red by Christian Zapata. And as well, the second time of asking as well. AC Milan getting their Serie A season underway on Sunday the 23rd of August. A trip to Florence to the Artemio Franchi. Face Fiorentina. Push there by Benatia. Spotted by referee Peter Sippel. And at half-time Benatia for Jerome Boateng.
Yeah, Benatia, another player there coming from Rome. $32 million. Obviously, they like to go to Rome like to go to Italy to do a bit of scouting.
He was only at Roma for a season after joining from Udinese and moved last summer here. Oh, wow. Velcro. Attached to his boot. Mario Götze. Most stadia you'd get oohs and ahs when someone does that. Here it's expected from some world-class stars. The other thing as well, Paul, for all the ability they have, that mistake by Milan is as a result of Bayern pressing high and pressing often.
That's a different. And you look at the type of player that's closing down: Götze, Muller, Lewandowski, Bernat, all quality, top players. When you have quality like that on the ball and on the field, and you've got that appetite for work when you're out of possession, that's when you've got something very, very special going on. And I think the reaction there from Mihailovic there with the kick out, I think he's getting very, very frustrated with his side.
I don't think he'll stand for any nonsense. He didn't as a player, including during his time across Milan with Internazionale. Serie A with Inter. The ball for Lewandowski. Bitsa with support from Roda. It's not his strongest foot. Let's leave it there.
Well, if you look at the red shirts inside the box, they wanted it dinked in early. He wasn't completely on the same page as his teammates there. Alonso getting ready to come on. Talk about passing ability. This guy can pass the ball for fun. You give him time and space on the ball.
Good hold of play from Carlos Bacca. Just unable to find DeCilio though. It's not bad with the ball at his feet, Sven Ulreich. Compared to Manuel Neuer, most people are second best. Foul on Bertolacci.
Bertolacci's been disappointing. He really has. I was expecting more from him.
Ten minutes gone in the second half. Bayern Munich leading AC Milan by 1-0. Now it's time for the wave. That usually means fans are bored, but not today. Plenty to keep their interest. This game is in the balance. Good area, down went Zapata, and then De Jong. Goodness me. We saw Philippe Mexes score a stunning goal against Inter on the 25th of July. This would have been unbelievable.
Well, it's absolutely incredible technique. Thomas Muller with the header out. Should have got a little bit more purchase on it, get some height on it. He didn't. Dropped out straight to De Jong's right foot. What a sensational piece of technique that was.
Philip Lahm was given a rest after 56 minutes. Xabi Alonso comes on. Muller finding goods. Just asking a bit much of Juan Bernat. So Rafinha will move to right back. The chasing that Thomas Muller's doing. He doesn't have to, but it's the way that they play, Bayern. That first came to prominence on a global scale at the World Cup in Mexico in 1986.
Obviously the director likes it. I'm more interested in seeing world-class players closing the ball down. They're working incredibly hard. It's a lesson to everybody who plays the game, whatever level you play at.
Second chance, Benatia, dispossessed by Luis Adriano. Opportunity for an equaliser here. Ventura finding Bertolacci. He was unable to find a teammate.
I don't think Guardiola will be too pleased with Benatia's defensive performance there. That was very, very poor, giving the ball away in such a dangerous area.
I think Bertolacci's got a point there. It was a strong challenge. He felt it was a fair challenge.
He doesn't look a happy camper, does he?
He never really does. He's not a guy that has a natural smile on his face. He's a warrior. He's a winner. He wants more from his team.
That's the difference between Bacca, Adriano and Lewandowski. Under severe pressure, Lewandowski in the middle third. He manages to retain and keep possession for his side. Absolutely key. Whatever ball is coming into you, you've got to make it a good ball.
Thomas Müller. Good strength from Zapata, but illegally done, says referee Peter Sippel.
Yeah, just the tiniest of bumps. And a little smile on Zapata's face there, probably saying, ref, if that was in the box, would that have been a penalty? Just a little nudge in the box, though, just just outside.
Statistic about Thomas Müller is incredible when you think about it, that Bayern Munich have not lost in the league in 54 games when he scores.
What's amazing to me, Mark, is he's still only 25 years of age.
It's like he's been around for ages. He joined in 2000 as a 10-year-old.
Has he been in the first team since he was 11?
On the hour mark, Bayern looking for a second. Little head flick, ensuring they don't get one. 1-0 Bayern. The Audi Cup on ESPN. Mark Donaldson alongside Paul Mariner. We'll do it all again tomorrow as well. Glenn Davis and Craig Burley with the third place match. And then, well, it's Real Madrid against probably Bayern. Joined by Taylor Twellman for that one. This is Mario Goods.
That was unusual. No runners in the box for Bayern Munich.
Nice touch by Müller. This is Röder. That's another good thing. I mean, there's so many good things about Bayern, but if they don't have anywhere to go, they'll go back the way. The fans don't get on their back because they know they'll come forward soon enough. Behind by Müller for Röder.
It's called ball circulation, retaining possession with a purpose. That's what it's all about. That's what they're doing.
The other thing is for the opposition, look how tiring it is. Milan are chasing red jerseys right now without any success.
Well, there's a Bayern Munich player wide open with chalk on his boots on the left-hand side.
This is Rafinha. Oh, he got away with it, Zapata. It was so nearly two.
Well, it's almost mesmerising. You know, people say, "Oh, is it possession with a purpose?" It's most certainly is possession with a purpose. Here he is getting in the air, gets his head up. Zapata, maybe a little bit of luck, more luck than judgment. But let's give the big man a little bit of credit. He's in the right spot at the right time to defend his line.
He's hurt and received treatment in the first half. Big lad, it's not that bad.
He's had enough. He wants off. The coach just said defend the corner kick first.
15 possible changes on the bench. Bernat. Oh, the deflection again. Lewandowski is offside. He never stands still, does he? That's one of his endearing features, Robert Lewandowski. He's always making runs. We were speaking earlier about you trying to give guidance about the runs to make. He's always on the move.
He is. He's constantly very, very alert, very, very bright. Excellent save, even though he was offside. Lopez didn't know he was offside. Excellent save.
It's one thing just moving. It's another thing as well moving in the right areas and keeps the defence on their toes. On at half-time for Douglas Costa, who had a wonderful first half. German Cup action for Bayern this Sunday. They will play the small side Nürtingen. A match that will take place in Karlsruhe, bigger stadium, to allow more fans in attendance. Nürtingen playing the 5th division and were relegated the regional Liga last year. Time for change. Alex to replace Zapata. Partner his fellow Brazilian Rodrigo Eli at the back. Those two started together against Real Madrid in Shanghai at the end of last month. This may be his last season at the football club. His deal expires next summer. Alex, good servant. Chelsea, Santos and PSV player.
33 years of age now. It's whatever you say. People say that you can play until you're whatever, but it's a difficult sport to play when you're getting on in years. You've got to look after yourself incredibly well to prolong that career.
Milan have had some wonderful defenders over the year, haven't they? Who played to their late 30s. Nesta.
Backer's just getting frustrated. He's had no service today, just a one slight quarter chance, let's say, on his right foot that he tried to bend it early in that second half. He tried to bend it with his right foot. Other than that, he's been starved of service.
Close-up of Højbjerg, showing the intensity in the face. Nice feet by Antonelli. Looks like so far this one's going the same way as the other two times that Bayern have met AC Milan in this competition. 2011, Bayern won on penalties. 2009, Bayern won 4-1. Couple for Müller. Bastian Schweinsteiger also on target in that one. Flag up by Christian Diaz on the far side. 20 minutes gone in the second half. Bayern leading AC Milan by 1-0. More action for you later this month. More football action for you later this month. And it's the US women's national team taking on Costa Rica. Our coverage begins on ESPN2 at 6:55 on August the 19th. The FIFA Women's World Cup champions back in action. It's the Central American opponents, Costa Rica. Slightly better stadium than the old Olympia Stadium. This is Lewandowski. Great feet. Would you have passed?
I don't think I would, to be honest. I probably would have took it on a little bit earlier. The cut inside opened it up on his left foot. Maybe his confidence is not as high at this moment in time in the pre-season.
Bernat, who was the player he tried to pass to. Müller earns corner number 8, the first of the second half for Bayern. Still got plenty of players to welcome back, the likes of Franck Ribéry and Dante and Javi Martinez. Badstuber, who they hope to be back within a few weeks. A little bit longer for him though. So many issues with injuries. Xabi Alonso for Højbjerg. Did it take a nick off De Jong? Off Alex, sorry.
Well, if that hits the back of the net, then that would be absolutely spectacular. There's the senior pros on a little laughing joke.
It's one of those, if you're playing FIFA 15, you tap X twice from a corner that it goes in and you just look at the guy you're playing against and smile. That's the type of goal that would have been if it had gone in. Never thought about it. He loves a fancy camera angle, does our match director.
He must have got some new toys for his birthday.
Bayern leading AC Milan by 1-0 here on ESPN. Juan Bernat in 23 minutes from the left-hand side, a deflection of Christian Zapata giving Diego Lopez no chance. What we've seen from Milan today and from Mihaljević's team selection, with only the one change so far, that it's probably going to be a completely different 11 that takes to the field tomorrow, probably against Tottenham, unless they turn things around and secure a place in the final against Real Madrid. Is it nasty or malicious, or was it more of a slip from De Jong?
I think there's always something on the end of it with De Jong. I don't think he does anything by halves. It's just interesting there where you saw Pep Guardiola getting involved with the throwing, orchestrating his players, whether they're in the right spot or not.
Taken quickly for Rode. Little nibble there by Bertolacci. Legal, says Peter Sippel. Honda. Illegal from Rode.
Well, I know it's a little cynical, but in that middle third, when the break's on, you take the player down. It's not nice to see, but it's just part of the game. You just break up the attack because you were caught on that fast break. You weren't set.
Was that a deliberate pun about Honda putting the brakes on?
Well, he's got a good engine, I know that much. We haven't seen much of it today, though.
20 minutes to go.
A little disappointed in Honda today. I thought in between the lines, it's his perfect position. He loves to play as the 10 in between the lines, but Bayern Munich have snuffed him out completely. Whether it's Lahm or Kimmich or in the latter stages now Alonso, he just cannot seem to get into the game.
Well, the trio in midfield of Bonaventura, De Jong and Bertolacci have struggled a little bit to A, keep the ball, and B, give it to Baca and Adriano and Honda. But they are up against one of the best teams in Europe. Little foul there by Goodson. Knee to knee.
When you get to this stage of the game in pre-season, it does just test your concentration, your fitness level,
your focus. In by Bertolacci. Header back. Well away by Xabi Alonso. Not only is a world-class striker, he's a really good defender as well. Robert Lewandowski.
We saw it with Muller earlier, didn't we? Yeah. With a set piece, he cleared the header.
A couple of years ago, it was Dortmund that were the nearest challengers. Then it was Wolfsburg last year. Remember as well, it's not too long ago since Dortmund won the Bundesliga. New coach Thomas Tuchel. You wonder who will be the main challengers. There was a 10-point gap last season, 17-point gap the year before.
Højbjerg, with the youngsters showing tremendous composure and skill on the line.
Looking forward to seeing Darmstadt this season. It's a phenomenal story. I'm going to tell you all right now, but just a small team not far from Frankfurt, promoted to the Bundesliga after finishing second to Ingolstadt. Also came up. Goodson. Nice switch of play. Is it 3? 2? Yes, it is. Mario Götze. A very Bayern goal. Patient, then a switch to the right, then infield in the layoff. And Mario Götze, who scored the winner against Inter in Shanghai last month, makes it Bayern 2, AC Milan 0.
Well, there's that control possession again. It was a big switch out wide to Goetze. Goetze carries on. Lewandowski makes a little bit of a movement though, just a bit of a mistouch. Alex can get a clear purchase on it, puts it back at the feet of Goetze, and Goetze with a very nice clinical finish with his left peg just inside the goalkeeper's right post. Here it is, perfect view, nice little inside of the left foot. Knew exactly what he was doing. Lopez has got his fingers to it, just couldn't get enough purchase on it himself. Ends up in the back of the net. Totally deserved 2-0 lead.
It's a fairer reflection on things as well. Mario Götze with number 2. And Milan will now make a few changes. So Nigel de Jong is being substituted. I want to go back to something you said earlier about an altercation at half-time. Let's have another look at this. Pep Guardiola, Nigel de Jong and Bernat involved. What do you make of that?
I think we said earlier in the broadcast that this wasn't a very friendly. Obviously, Pep was upset with de Jong about something. I thought he was a little bit concerned with Bernat, showboating a little bit the inside left, just by the box. A lot of pride at stake here. Bayern Munich totally in control. It's at this stage of the season, it's all about philosophy and all about the habits that the coach instills in the players. And if you look at the way they go about their business, the passing, the move, the options that they have on the ball, the pressure that they put, you know, I cast my mind back to when he was at Barcelona with the 5-second rule, get the ball back as quickly as you possibly can. It seems as though he's certainly instilled that in the players today. At a very high tempo.
Two for company for Lewandowski. A whole raft of changes made by AC Milan.
Well, bringing on fresh legs for AC Milan, it'll cloud the overall picture, because the fresh legs come on. If it had left the same group out there, Mihailovic, I'm sure that this would have been 3 or 4.
Tolivo's taken over the captain's arm back. This is Rafinha. Chance, and denied by Diego Lopez. Number 10 taken quickly.
You look at the young players, Mark, Højbjerg and Roda 24, a little bit more experience under his belt. He came into the club from Eintracht Frankfurt. They're bought into the philosophy, keeping possession. If it's not on, don't give the ball away. No risk, keep it. And it just keeps taking the legs away from AC Milan, or for any case, any team that they're playing against.
Alaba just running out of room there.
There's a goal from Götze. Lopez just got his hand to it. And here we have goal line technology. When the ball hits the back of the net, it's an absolute must. I wasn't sure whether that ball did hit the back of the net. Let me just check it. Oh, marginal.
Are you being facetious, Mr. Mann? It's been a tough shift for these AC Milan players today.
It has, but at least they're a couple of weeks away from starting the season, which is a plus. They will learn a lot from this, the players and the coaching staff.
This Audi player index that they're referencing is to decide who's going to win the Man of the Match award. And normally it's the sponsors, and it's basically who they want to meet. But this time it's being done. How about this? Via 91 different parameters, Paul Mariner, in a formula. It's a secret formula. It's to do with sprinting, shooting, passing, crossing. Wasn't like that back in your day. Change here with Götze being replaced. Looking forward to seeing this young lad who's coming on. Fabian Benko, 17 years old. glimpse of him. He came on as a sub at half-time against Inter recently, and he made an impact.
Guardiola thinks very, very highly of it. Came out in quotes and saying that this kid's special.
This is Niang.
Niang, number 78 there for AC Milan. Just come on as sub. Only a young boy himself. 20 years of age, just finding his feet, finding his way in the game.
Sometimes there's a need for a 40-yard clearance, even if you are Bayern Munich.
Well, 80 minutes in, 10 players behind the ball. Lewandowski just high, just as a relief.
Manuel Neuer expected to play tomorrow. Late night for the kids, but school tomorrow due to the summer holidays, so no problems going to see their heroes. New jersey on as well. 10 minutes to go in this one. Bayern 2-0 up. Götze with the second. Juan Bernat opening the scoring. And safe, I think we can say now, it's going to be a Bayern Real Madrid final, Paul Mariner.
Yeah, I mean, we prophesied at the start of the game. We haven't been too far off. It's Bayern Munich have been way ahead of AC Milan in every aspect of the game, to be honest.
Højbjerg.
Well, Mihailovic is still persevering with the two up top, whichever personnel has been in there, which I must admit is a bit of a surprise. Maybe he feels that that's his system for the season, so he's going to stay with it.
Little slip by Fabian Benko, who, if he makes his way in the game the way that many think he will, might want to change his Instagram account that contains the name of Cesc Fabregas. He want to make his own name around the football. It's been difficult for a youngster as well. I mean, if you remember the first few times you played as a teenager, you want to really impress, but you don't want to overdo it as well and end up looking a bit daft.
You've just got to do it. It's the same for every single player. Whenever you start the season, whatever phase of the season you're in, you always want to set off well. You always want to get respect from your colleagues, and you just want to keep it basic, keep it simple, get yourself rolling, build your confidence, and build the respect that your fellow dressing room teammates will have for you, and that's it.
Much changed AC Milan side now. Possession. Andrea Poli. The captain to leave him. We get to see young American Julian Green before the end of this game. Careful. Not sure what he was doing there. And Lewandowski nearly bursts the net. It's 3. And it's special.
Well, tremendous closing down 85th minute of the game. Just shows the fitness levels of the players. Roda been working his socks off all day, closes the ball down on the volley, as sweet as you will see. Goalkeeper absolutely put his hand up as the ball was hitting the back of the net. I don't think we'll need goal line technology for that one.
What about the technique? The mistake by Alex, the little flick by Thomas Müller, and a sumptuous finish from Lewandowski.
When you have so much time, when you're in that position, when you're looking to finish, you've got to let the ball drop. A lot of young players will, what they do, they take it a little bit too early, it'll go high. But Lewandowski, you could see he just relaxed, his body relaxed, and he just went through the ball. Absolutely spectacular. Beautiful setup by Müller.
Five to go, in a much fairer reflection the way this game has gone now with the scoreline. Bernat, oh, it's got to be a penalty, hasn't it? Oh, he reckons the ball was won by Ignacio Abate.
The Bayern Munich boys are working the socks off, but they're having so much fun. It's so noticeable, the body language, the faces.
Delayed corner to allow another change to be made.
I must say the interaction with Guardiola, with his players, whether they're coming off or he's putting them on, has been pretty impressive.
And a glimpse of Julian Green. We'll get the last 3.5 minutes. So coming on, young German Gianluca Gaudino. Julian Green, good to see him in the Bayern jersey. Another eager to impress Pep Guardiola. Lewandowski, Green in support. Where do you think Julian's best position is?
You know what, Mark, to be perfectly honest with you, I haven't seen enough of him played at a decent level. I can't answer that question. I'm just so impressed with Lewandowski, you know, international footballer, highly regarded, highly renowned. And he's in the box one moment, the next minute he's picking the ball up on the right-hand side of midfield. You know, his awareness and the willingness of the Bayern Munich players in which to work and get the ball back, it's phenomenal.
On as a sub, will have to be subbed off by Niang.
There's limping badly. There's a volley from Lewandowski. Let the ball drop, and it goes into the back of the net like a bullet. Unbelievable finish. That's fantastic. Sensational technique. The setup from Müller, the awareness from Müller on the edge of the box, who was under pressure. Nice little soft cushion volley over the defender's head. And there's a reaction of the fans.
A top quality goal is a top quality goal irrespective of whether it's a friendly or a league match or a cup tie. Just top drawer technique. Again, there's that pressing from Bayern.
It's obviously the philosophy of Pep Guardiola all the way through the club.
Foul on Mauri. Signed free transfer from Parma. There's a sad story of Parma playing in Serie D due to various financial issues. Staple of Serie A for many years. Relegated and then demoted another couple of leagues. Don't forget, tomorrow, do it all again. We'll have the third place playoff between Tottenham Hotspur and AC Milan. We're on air from 12 o'clock on ESPN2 in the United States. And then the final from 2:30. Bayern Munich against Real Madrid. Good feet by Gaudino. And Julian Green allowing himself to get into decent positions, just found by his teammates. The moment that was back in the 1st of July last year when Julian Green scored his first touch of the ball against Belgium. What a game that was as well. So close for the US. Miller wide for Bernat. He's had a good game. Live wire. Alex with the header. Alex and Mexis at the back. Which one's Captain Chaos and which one's Captain Calamity? Because they can both play football, but they've always got that moment in them as well. It's done, and Bayern are in the final. Juan Bernat, Mario Götze, Robert Lewandowski. Job done.
It's a little too early to say a total performance, because this is only pre-season when all's said and done. But the philosophy of Pep Guardiola was there for all to see. The work ethic, the technical ability, the finishing. Fantastic performance from Bayern Munich.
And they've still got another 10, 11 days or so before they are in Bundesliga action. Pre-season continues. And they're through to the final of their own tournament, the 2015 Audi Cup. So for the 4th time in a row, each time this tournament has been hosted by Bayern, they have reached the final. Beat Man United on penalties in 2009. They lost to Barcelona in 2011. They beat Man City.